time, so let's go, and people will hop in during the session, I hope. So welcome to this first webinar from Qualifio in 2022. This will be an Inspirational Thursday, so perhaps you know the concept. If you don't, hopefully you'll get regularly attending these sessions because we are hosting these every 2 months. And the point is just to give you ideas, to give you examples around a specific topic. Today, conversion, and more specifically, we will be looking at the drive to store and store to web strategies. So essentially, it will revolve around sales. So the typical structure is we go a little bit into theoretical concepts, and then we go dive into examples and real life examples from other clients that we have here at Qualifio. A little bit on myself, just quickly. I'm a customer care manager at Qualifio. I've got over 3 years here in Louvain-la-Neuve in Belgium. And yes, I'm responsible for the segment of our lowest tier customers, and these are the bronze customers. Yeah, so without further ado, let's kick start. So you may have heard this one. It's an old quote from Mark Parker at Nike, and I think this is what we're going to cover today. Obviously, the digital and physical world, they can be related, and it's not always obvious to see it because obviously you're taking Qualifio mostly for the digital content, the ability to convert, but you're not necessarily thinking of, oh, actually I can connect to my my physical infrastructures. So this is what we're going to look at, and as you can see, people say it's important. So is it really important, and how can it help? Well, if you are a user of Qualifio, you should already know why we are promoting it so much. Why is it working for people? Because we're talking of dynamic content. We all know that content is king. This has been going on for a while in digital marketing, but obviously dynamic content has proven itself to be much more relevant than static content. As you can see there's on average 4.5 times the number of page views, sorry. And this works in B2C as well as for B2B. Typically, people are more attracted to interactive and visual content. That's over static, obviously. So what does that mean? Well, obviously, this is what we're going to see, because you might think, okay, well, this is to attract the attention. So we're talking top of the funnel here, right? Top of funnel to attract the attention, and then we give it away to the sales team. Well, what we're going to see today is that Qualifio can actually also help around the middle of the funnel. And obviously, some of the examples would be from the interest and discovery of the brand to the conversion phase, and some will be more conversion directly, even into loyalty and the retention of customers. So here is a bunch more fact on the interactive content and how much more of a success it can lead. But this is important. We are going to focus during this session around the middle of the funnel, really the conversion. This is the title, obviously. Sales funnel, you all know what it means. So essentially, what in Qualifio does that mean? Does that entail? We're looking at promo code, coupons, and post-purchase offers as well. So obviously, the post-purchase offers on this specific topic, I could quote. I think one of the research from Adobe a few years back showed that over 40% of the sales come from 8% of your existing customers. So we're talking of the importance of loyalty, keeping them informed of your offers and having them purchase back, which is the crucial aspect here. So obviously, this is what I said earlier. We've got the promo code and the coupon, more about converting new customers, and the post-purchase offer to go into the loyalty phase and retention and purchase back. Here, again, some of the stats. So the company sees the redemption rate of coupons increase by 4 times when you make people earn their coupon. And this is what we're going to see, obviously, with Qualifio, as you can do some digital interactive content and yeah, games campaign that makes them feel like they earned a coupon, and they're proud to be able to redeem it in store. Also the stats on the post-purchase offers, people are roughly more willing to buy. And obviously, what is the downside? There is none. If you're not doing any post-purchase offers, you're probably missing out on sales that you could make, as simple as that. So with that in mind, more specifically in Qualifio now. Again, what did I say? The coupon, the post-purchase offers. What are we going to look at with the examples are these concepts here. If you're familiar with it, good. That's already a good takeaway. You'll be able to dive right into the examples. If you're not, let me just quickly brief you on what we are going to see in those campaigns from Qualifio. First of all, you've got these e-couponing, right? The e-couponing are directly connected to a system that can be Rico, as you can see there on that I'm hovering over. Rico, Clearance, Sojek. These are, Sojek is for France, Rico is in Belgium. These are couponing systems that you can redeem in store, like in big retailers. And obviously we'll have a bunch of examples with these. The integration is automatic, so if you contact these companies, you can have your coupon distributed at the end of your campaign. Unique codes, these are more do-it-yourself type, because you'll be able to make and distribute your unique code in your campaign. And these can be distributed, and we'll see this, but at the entry or at the exit of your campaign. They have hence different purpose. And finally, the discount code, which is usually the same for everyone, just get a 10% discount off the online shop or the or in store. So all these concepts will be important when we come to web to store and store to web. Right. Okay. Enough of theoretical concepts. Just bear in mind that we have always more inspiration case studies on our blog, so do not hesitate to check this out. And without further ado, let's dive into some examples. And I'll try to give you some concepts. Context. Some context around the examples and the ideas. If you have any question or you're not sure about something, do not hesitate, ask a question at the end. I will be remaining online for a bit after the presentation. So the structure we're going to go through is each time I'm going to present an example, and then right after we will have a quick 2 to 3 FAQ link, because you will receive the presentation afterwards, so that you know and you can find out how to make these campaigns. Now, the first example we have on screen here is an advent calendar. Obviously, the period is just passed, but yeah, the principle here from Rico, Rico Planet. So for most of you, I think you'll know what it is, but it's a do-it-yourself apparel tool in Belgium. And yeah, the idea was that they had leaflets. As you can see on the middle picture here, they were distributed at every register. They were available. People could just take one or straight away just scan the QR code, which was available on it. Now, obviously, as does an advent calendar do, you will have behind each of the little pictures here, the literal frame, you'll have different promo code, you'll have different campaigns. You can do anything you want behind these. But yeah, that was the promotion from Rico and Rico Planet. And again, each day had a specific game, but you also had a big prize to win towards the end while participating in the different contests. So a nice example. This is obviously a store to web, because it was available in store and it was redirecting people online. So we'll see both way, right? Store to web and web to store type of examples. Oh, I didn't mention it, but obviously last example in terms of conversion was to get people to buy back, because you would receive discount on product and invite people to come and purchase another item. Again, as I said, second slide will be the FAQ time. So these are some useful link so that you can make your own campaign, as we just saw in the example. Another nice example, maybe a tiny bit more difficult to put into place, obviously, but Purina One, which is one of the Nestlé brand for pets, did a great immersive experience in store. Essentially, as you can see, there are displays and there's like a lot of information given, but the real tell here is the diagnostic that you could do on a tablet that was available into the stand. So essentially, you could run the diagnostic, and they use the Qualifio campaign. This was precisely personality test, a personality test with a few questions, the age, the size of your pet. I think this was covering both cat and dog, so obviously which type, which breed, and in the end, it was just recommending what the best food was. Obviously, this is a pretty obvious link to the store. I don't reckon, I can't quite recall, but I don't reckon there was any discount code given, but this is very easy to make. Again, at the exit of a personality test, you could give away a coupon that's redeemable directly in store. So obviously a very web to store example here in this case. So yeah, Purina One here. So personality tests can be used, and they're really useful to segment and identify who are you talking to and get the right type of coupon to the right person. Here again, another picture in store. This one is obviously a Storetoweb example. We are in Carrefour here in France, I reckon. I think this was in France. And partnership with Disneyland here. Disneyland had an entire celebration around Epiphany. They were doing those pies there that we call galette des rois in Belgium and France. And yeah, I mean, the idea was to have people accessing, I don't see any QR code. I think it was accessible via a link, but yeah, essentially people would just get online, get onto the campaign. This was a simple form, nothing too fancy, but the price was that, oh, sorry, no, it was an instant win, actually. I'm jumping the gun. An instant win is actually quite convenient compared to a form, because you do not have to allocate your winner. Again, in some cases, you do not have to allocate your winner manually. You can actually have them winning decided in advance based on your calendar. So in this case, the big prize was obviously to win a Disneyland Paris trip. So yeah, this was it. Basically, you can see great display and then access online to convert and have you participate into an instant win campaign. The instant win can take the form of a jackpot, Wheel of Fortune. So obviously here's a few links to how to make these campaigns. Another example we have here is Nespresso. I've talked about these in previous sessions if you have attended. Obviously, Nespresso is a big event. Well, as a big celebration around Black Friday and discounts for this event. So this is a quite simple way of driving to store and converting. In this case, is we all know what's going to happen for Black Friday, and we all want to be first for the Nespresso discount promotion. So way to do it is just having a registering form in here, a registration form, sorry, with an opt-in and stay up to date. Essentially, you could even add a timer here, like a countdown saying, well, 3 days to Black Friday, and you're the first being contacted with the different offers. So a pretty simple way of driving to store when you know an event is coming and people know as well. So that's the Nespresso example here. Again, some FAQs to help you out. Now we go back to another example from Rico, and again, this one was clearly a store to web. Actually, it goes a bit both way, right? Because we've got these cards, these scratch cards that were distributed in store. So obviously you had to purchase for over 50 euros in store. And then you will receive the Costa del Casa, as you can see on screen, card. You would scratch and discover a unique code. This unique code in turn would allow you to participate in a campaign and get a chance to win one of the great gifts. So again, it was the Storetoweb, but I reckon that if you weren't one of the big winner, you would get some discount again for some other products. So obviously also a lead back to the store. So yeah, this concept of unique code and access online is really easy to set up in Qualifio. Just in the welcome screen, you would have a little box asking you for your specific unique code. It's a great way to keep track of your participant and have them filtered out, basically. So the scratch card from Rico, that was an interesting concept, and behind that was a quiz campaign. Here is a more static example from NEScafe Gold. So NEScafe Gold here was essentially just having a landing page on which they were presenting a recipe. So we're talking again more content-wise, not specifically anything to do with a game, but this is you could combine this with, say, a photo contest or something where people would upload the image of the recipe they did. But in this case, we are looking at a landing page with the different ingredient, the instruction to make the recipe, even a video, so quite nice content. And obviously behind was the option to download the coupon. So if you were to click that, you would get into a form and then get your coupon discount to buy the NEScafe Gold product. Now, what we can see from these type of, because there are many ways of distributing coupon in Qualifio. They're usually just behind a simple form. But in this case, you can see much more completion rate than the typical coupon campaign, e-couponing campaign. And that is because, well, obviously you're providing some content, some context, and it's just more fun for the participant. So that was essentially just a landing page, but turned into a recipe page. Now here is an interesting example. So this was made with the agency in Belgium, Dogo Friends, and this was for Pedigree Dentastics. So essentially, it was a survey campaign, but the idea was to have multiple objectives in this case. Obviously, we have the drive to store and purchase with basically a sampling. So that was a free sample of the product. But again, as I said, there were multiple objectives. So the idea was to collect feedback, to convert sales, because obviously you would give samples and then a discount to purchase more of the same product, but also promote ambassadorship. So this is kind of crucial for this type of campaign that they're running, because it happens over multiple weeks, and it's a multiple step campaign. First, they would select the different participant. As you can see, for those who speak French in the room, they were selecting 1,500 members from their existing customers. So customer, or at least ambassadors at Dogo Friends. And these were selected based on the profile, the type of dog. So we already had a survey up front, and then they received a sample. They had to test it for 4 weeks, the new Dentastics product, and then give their feedback. So this is another survey. And obviously, they were strongly invited to invite a friend, to share with friends and make more people discover the product of Dentastics. So this is a multiple layered campaign and very interesting with good results for this type of product, at least with a sort of ambassadorship and also the drive to store with couponing behind. Now another example here, and we're back at Carrefour, but this time in Spain, with another instant win format. This one is the Wheel of Fortune. So the idea was, we're more on the side of loyalty in this case, because this was only accessible for the club member, El Club, so people already customers at Carrefour, and yeah. Essentially, for those people with this card, they would receive a specific access code. So it was a unique code. Again, we've mentioned it before, and get to play the Wheel of Fortune and get a discount at the next visit at Carrefour. So quite easy I mean, a drive to store, obviously in this case, based on your loyal customers. So we talked about it, distributing these coupons. And obviously here, this is a same type of idea. You would participate in a game, as we saw earlier in the theoretical part. When you make people earn the coupon, it tends to convert way more. This is precisely the idea from the Nordic brand here, Pagen. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce this properly. It's most likely butchered, but this was with Clearon providing the coupon, and the idea was to have a memory behind which you would get a gratis. So it's a free sample here of a bread, sort of bread, of the brand. As simple as that, and obviously a bit visual with the gaming aspect on the memories. On the memory part of the game. So yeah, it was a quite nice example for distributing a coupon. Here again, the FAQ, so that you can make your own memory if you're interested. Now these, in here, I'm gonna have two examples that are not necessarily about conversion, but they are definitely digital to physical and vice versa, physical to digital world, which is quite relevant when it comes to Qualifio again, because it's not the first thing you would think about. In this case, LOSC is a football club in France. I was afraid of saying something. Sorry, I'm not too much into football. So LOSC, obviously, football club in France. And the idea is, well, on this campaign specifically, was to make people involved during the training. So how do you do that? Right, the training, that means before match, obviously there's the warm-up of the players and there's a DJ playing music. So they thought, how can we have the fans being involved? Well, the way of doing that is that they had a digital experience here, a Qualifio campaign, where people could post what music they wanted to play and under what name, so what name would represent them. And they would then, for the next match, not only have their music played, selected on whatever criteria randomly, and also their name displayed on the massive screen that they have in the stadium. So this is really simplistic and quite straightforward, but you need to think about it. It's a way of involving the supporters, the fan, during a phase that's otherwise, well, not much happens. I mean, it's just the training of the warm-up of the player. So it's a really creative and a nice example of the physical to digital correlation you can have in Qualifio during an event. Another way of connecting both somewhat is a media example here where just at the end of the moment the Spanish team actually lost during the Euro 2000 and I think it's 2020, but it actually happened in 2021. So I'm just getting confused. But the last Euro, basically, the Spanish team, after being disqualified, had a great, well, at the end of the day, it's just a survey, right? Online on the Marca website. And it was just asking a few questions. How would you rank the Spanish team and the different role of the player? Who was the new hope for the next generation? Who was the MVP, the most valuable player? Obviously, all these type of questions, and it resulted being so successful with so many people that Marca decided to actually publish it on the physical version of their magazine on I think it was a few days or a week after. So interesting. Qualifio actually came all the way to the front page of this newspaper, in this case, or magazine, whatever, which essentially, again, resulted in huge success with people very vocal about the Spanish team after the Euro. So a nice way to connect, again, physical and digital, even in the media way. The last example I will present today in here is Welpet. And this is, again, a simple coupon. But what I want to emphasize here is the game, as you can see from the animated screen there. The idea is that we have a catcher. These games are not made all on your own. Sorry, these are made via our studio here at Qualifio, but this is a nice way of having something entertaining, really fun, and addictive as well. In this case, WellPet for the UK market was distributing a promotional code at the end of your game. Whatever the score you obtain, the idea was just to have a 50% discount. So yeah, this is another way in which you can distribute your coupon that varies from the usual and simple form. I guess that's it. These are the examples that I chose for today. If you think you were missing anything, do not hesitate to post it in the chat. Now what we're going to do, and my dear colleague Anastasia, who should be in this call as well, will just run, yep, there we go, a little poll. So you know the drill. If you can just stay for 1 minute and answer the 2 questions, that would be really nice. Just essentially asking you which mechanic did you find the most interesting or applicable in your case. And if it's not, and you have further question, or you want to know how could you just apply these examples, do not hesitate to ask. This is why I'm here. So thank you very much for answering this. Just going to open the chat very quickly, see if Anna has replied to Maureen. Native API between social Rico. Yes, that is correct. Yes, native integration. Unfortunately, Maureen, I see this question here on the scratch card, and I know the example was showing a scratch card, but this mechanic specifically is not yet, and I insist, not yet available in Qualifio. It's under plan, it's under revision, so hopefully this will come live someday. But at the moment, it is not available in Qualifio as an interaction. You would have the scratch card in real, in physical, and then lead back to a campaign with whatever mechanics you want behind that campaign. Thank you very much, guys. The second question on for this webinar is just how useful was this for you? Do not hesitate. If it wasn't, if it didn't answer your expectation, let me know. Let me know what you would have also liked to see. This is why we're here. And do not forget, there will be further session every 2 months. I hope to see you in the next as well. I see no more question, but do not hesitate. If you have any question, feel free to put them in the chat. As I said, I'm going to stay online a little bit more. Hopefully, get some good conversation going.
Actually, Leon, we have a question in the Q&A, if you can open it.
Oh, wait. Yes, correct. Sorry, I was in the chat, but in the Q&A. Hello, anonymous attendee. I don't have the name. Sorry. This is a good question. So essentially, the scratch card, the win, instant win, Wheel of Fortune, are they allowed in Belgium? It's a very good question. They are not. Typically saying they're not because it's always the same thing. You cannot have jeu de hasard, right? So completely, lucky game where people win, not based on a question like a tiebreaker question. Now, this is a conversation that I've had more in French than in English. That's why I'm a little bit struggling. Sorry, but. Nevertheless, so the idea in Belgium is that usually we've seen other clients find alternative to make it work. Nevertheless, again, because you cannot have something like what we saw, a Wheel of Fortune with only 2 people winning. But what you could have is a Wheel of Fortune where everybody wins, either being a small discount and or a big prize. This is absolutely acceptable in this case, since everyone is winning, so there's no discrimination at this stage. And I mean, it really depends on the on case per case basis. We've seen examples of all type. But game of chance, typically, you are right, in Belgium, it is sensitive. Do consult with your legal department if you're going to run these contests. Make sure that it's okay, that it's justified, and that you are being covered on a legal basis. We've got a few articles on the blog about this. If you wanna check, or if you wanna ask a question, just submit a ticket. We'll be happy to share with you our insights and what we have available on the topic.